Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson.
A pressing issue in our community is the recent surge in violent crime. This very afternoon, we laid to rest young Jamani Smitten, a former student of the Ivor Walters Primary School. When I think about this, I feel a sense of despair that grips at the very heart of me. What kind of people could possibly, who do we have living with us? When did we become so cold, so heartless? I just can't comprehend what all of the fighting is for. But we must never become servants of our fears. As a society, we must stand now. Violence is like a storm. It can only form and rage where conditions are conducive, but will die down when conditions are no longer favorable.
Minister of Education, the Honorable Troy Liburd, speaking about the recent surge in crime and violence in the Federation during his remarks at the 2024 Back-to-School Convocation held at the Nevis Performing Arts Centre on Monday, August 26, 2024. Minister Liburd is encouraging teachers to do their part in molding young children into upstanding adults.
As educators, we have a crucial role to play in addressing this scourge upon our society. The classroom is not just a place for academic instruction. It is a place where values are taught, character is shaped, and futures are determined. Our children are the future of Nevis, and their future is shaped by what they learn today, not just from the textbooks, but from the examples that we set. We are not just teaching subjects, we are shaping citizens. The values we instill, honesty, integrity, empathy, and respect will guide our students away from violence and towards lives of purpose and contribution. As educators, we are on the front lines of crime prevention. We have the ability to identify early signs of distress or behavior that may lead to negative outcomes. It is our responsibility to intervene, to provide guidance, and to work closely with our counselors, with parents, with community leaders, with religious leaders, and where necessary, with the police, to keep our young people on the right path.
Minister of Education, the Honorable Troy Liburd. United under one umbrella, educating for a sustainable future, is the theme under which the 2024 Back-to-School Convocation was held.
But the anchor of our team, united under one umbrella, helps us to see that we are never really alone in the system, because we have colleagues matching our effort at every angle. We have colleagues matching our effort at every angle. And so even though in your corner, you may only see your effort, I can assure you that there is somebody else, some other group, some other team, some other school who is working just as hard as you are to educate for a sustainable future. So each classroom teacher, please give them a round of applause. Each computer teacher, PE teacher, library teacher, cultural arts teacher, tourism teacher, each one of you, each counselor, each cook, each cleaner, each bus driver, each landscaper, each security officer, each crossing guard, each principal, each deputy principal, each administrative officer, each education official, each bus driver, each member of the maintenance team. You all have a role to play in this sustainable future that we are all trying to build. You are all working hard in your roles, and we say thank you.
Principal Education Officer, PEO, in the Department of Education, Londa Brown, also welcomed new teachers into the education system.
To Ms. Andresia Slater, Mr. Brian Doerr, Ms. Rihanna Simon, Ms. Olivia Philogene, Ms. Tinaja Jeffers, and Ms. Claire Greenaway, we say welcome under the umbrella. To all our other new teachers, we also say welcome to you, welcome to the fold. We have the opportunity and the privilege also to say to Mr. Sean Roy Caesar, Ms. Adessa Farrell, Ms. Dakia Liburd, Mr. Ron Daniel, Ms. Aishana Broadbelt, Mr. Keju Pemberton, Ms. Veronique Walters, Ms. Teresa Heron, Ms. Shernique Fobbs, Ms. Jaida Camus, Ms. Ayana Doerr, and Mr. Tukori Archibald Handy. We get to say to them, welcome back. These persons have completed their studies, whether it be at the Teacher Training College in Clarence Fitzroy Bryant, or they have completed their first degrees at various universities throughout the world. We say, welcome back to the fold, and we look forward again to sharing with you in this journey under this umbrella.
PEO Brown congratulated the teachers who will be pursuing studies at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College in St. Kitts, as well as those who will go off to university. She then announced some of the education professionals who are exiting the education system, as well as the public service, and thanked them for their years of service.
To Mr. Modi, to Ms. Jessica Shiverton, to Mr. Lovell Cranston, and Mr. Euclid Lawrence, we say thank you for your service and for the years that you have spent with us, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. We also have a group who we will be continuing without, and that includes persons like Ms. Olivia Fobbs, Ms. Velona Claxton, Mrs. Dahlia Prentice, Ms. Dorcella Powell, Mr. Emmanuel Richards, Mrs. Janice Whitaker Richards, Ms. Marguerite Walters, Mrs. Jennifer Liburd, and Mrs. Marilyn Truss. Those persons are retiring from public service, and we wish them a happy retirement. We truly hope that they are able to enjoy the fruits of their labor, all the years that they have spent with us in this business of education. They will all be missed.
The program consisted of poems, giveaways, and special announcements. The guest speaker was Permanent Secretary in the Premier's Ministry, Wakely Daniel, and the ceremony was chaired by new Deputy Principal Education Officer, Joanne Williams. 11 early childhood centers on Nevis received a donation of sensory walls and kits, courtesy of the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, on Friday, August 23, 2024, at the Department of Education. Early Childhood Coordinator Donnie Lands outlined the purpose of the brief handing over ceremony.
Our UNICEF-sponsored autism training that was held during the month of October and November, based on the information that was shared, we were encouraged and we felt the need to provide each school with some resources that would assist them in helping the children in their care. And so today we are making good on our promise, and we have before us some of our materials that we would be distributing to each center that they could create, 1, a sensory wall, and 2, sensory items that they can create a corner within their schools to assist the children and to help the teachers to make life more meaningful for the children at school.
Principal Education Officer Londa Brown, in presenting the donation to each school, expressed gratitude to UNICEF for the timely donation.
So it is with great pleasure that we present these to you this morning. We want to thank UNICEF for their sponsorship and for the contribution they have made that allowed us to be able to give you these resources. I am sure that you will make great use of them and that they will go to the benefit of our students. So we will invite each of you to come and accept a token that is representative, not in total, representative of the resources that you will get. And if you could look on the table, it includes our sensory squishy bag, it includes our sensory wall activities, and some sensory play items right here. So each kit would contain a sample of each of the items that you see here.
Deputy Principal Education Officer Joanne Williams was also present at the brief handing over ceremony. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, RSCNPF, is reiterating the importance of the law concerning children loitering on the streets, particularly after 10 p.m. The law, which is intended to ensure the safety and well-being of minors under the age of 16, will be strictly enforced to maintain public order and protect the youth. Under Section 15 of the Criminal Law Amendment Act of St. Christopher and Nevis, any boy or girl under the age of 16 found wandering or loitering on the streets after 10 p.m. without a legitimate reason will be subject to police intervention. Officers are authorized to stop such individuals and, if necessary, escort them to the nearest police station. There, they will be held until released into the custody of their parents or legal guardians. The RSCNPF emphasizes that this measure is in place to protect minors from potential dangers that may arise from unsupervised activities during late hours. The law mandates that the parents or guardians of the minor must be immediately notified upon their child's detention. Parents and guardians are urged to be vigilant in their responsibilities. Failure to supervise minors effectively may result in penalties. Specifically, any parent or guardian who neglects this duty may face a fine of up to $500. However, no charges will be filed without a prior caution or warning of the consequences of persistent neglect of parental duties. In light of these provisions, the RSCNPF encourages all members of the community to adhere to these regulations to ensure the safety of our young people and uphold the standards of our society. The law defines street broadly to include any public thoroughfare, including bridges, roads, lanes, footways, squares, courts, alleys, or passages, as well as any adjoining grounds that are open to the public. The RSCNPF remains committed to safeguarding the community and ensuring that all laws are upheld for the protection of its citizens, particularly the youth. The cooperation of all parents, guardians, and community members is essential in this effort. The Chamber of Industry and Commerce Nevis Division hosted its quarterly luncheon on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. Chairperson of the Nevis Division of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Denwick Liburd, outlined its purpose.
The role we play is to facilitate when there are issues such as VAT, immigration, as our Prime Minister will talk about. The Chamber is part of those discussions. And it's important that you get the views of non-governmental organizations representing a cross-section of the business community. And so, whilst some of us look for something tangible that we can say, okay, the Chamber did this, what I want to advocate is that by you contributing to the Chamber, you're helping a wider audience. We are taking things to another level. Certainly by yourself, you will be able to have the Prime Minister come and do a talk. So you understand where the law of numbers is very important. We are very big on training. We do hold training exercises that assist small businesses and persons who are venturing into the small business space. We recently held a workshop at our offices there at our Value Mart complex. And that was very well attended. And by all accounts, the participants learned a lot. And so we encourage you to continue to support the Chamber, because what we do impacts the whole community as a whole.
Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, was the guest speaker at the luncheon and spoke on the topic free movement.
It is clear that we have now become a more diverse community. We are diverse on all fronts, and religion, of course, our faith-based practice is no exception. We did that because that is the essence of what CARICOM is all about. It is about integrating all of the peoples across the Caribbean. And we seek not to exclude anybody, whether they are from an independent country or a non-independent country, where they are given some status with respect to CARICOM. CARICOM is an organization that has made a tremendous impact on the international scene. Because when you look across the world, there are two such organizations, the European Union and CARICOM, of bringing independent countries together, seeking to get them to operate as one. So we in the Caribbean, we have something to be extremely proud of, that we were able to establish a CARICOM, an organization that is well respected internationally. And therefore, I want us to understand that we are part of an organization that has weight, that is critically important for our development.
Dr. Drew outlined the importance and the benefit of CARICOM.
I can say to you today that we benefit significantly because we are part of CARICOM. There's hardly anything that we can undertake as an independent country not being integrated into the CARICOM system. For example, you have CDMA. That is the organization that deals with disaster response. St. Kitts and Nevis, as a country, we do not have the resources necessary to respond to a disaster. We can't stand alone. When you look at the expertise and the technicality that are involved with respect to disaster preparedness and response that we take for granted, that the experts that are required, we can't even start paying for 3 of them properly. But yet, they are committed to helping St. Kitts and Nevis. But you don't see it. You just know after a hurricane or before hurricane, let's get ready. During the hurricane and after the hurricane, well, we're going too slow. Can we go a bit faster? But a lot of those resources actually come because we are integrated. We have the RSS, the Regional Security System. Again, there's no country independently not having that integration that can truly respond at the level that it needs to when it has to, when there are issues of security. A lot of you in here are comforted that, you know, there's an upsurge, but you know, at any point, if it gets to a point, the Prime Minister can pick up the phone, and call from his office, and next day, there is about 2 planes on the tarmac with guys ready to deal with what they have to do. That is because we are integrated into CARICOM. Your exams that you have taken, or your children will take, CSEC and CAPE, St. Kitts and Nevis will never be in a position to be able to have an examination board that can present an examination to the world that will be respected. But CARICOM provides that for us. And so I wanted us to start there to see the tangible benefits that we are already really having as members of CARICOM.
Immediately following Prime Minister Drew's presentation, those present got the opportunity to ask questions. The Vice Chair of the Nevis Division of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Patricia Claxton, chaired the ceremony. The luncheon was held at Stella's Kitchen at Long Point. And that's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.